dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Good morning everybody, and I welcome you to this tutorial. In our last tutorial, we are looking at coordination. And then today, I want us to look at glands and hormones. When we talk about a gland, we mean an organ that can release or secrete a substance or a chemical. And these chemicals that are released by the gland, then they travel to the target organ where they cause an effect or where they carry out a function. Glands, we have two types of glands. We have what we call exocrine glands. These are glands that produce secretions. They don't produce hormones. Instead, they produce what you call secretions. For example, we have the salivary glands that produces saliva, which is not a hormone. We have the pancreas that produces the pancreatic juice, which is also not a hormone. We call them secretions. And when you look at these exocrine glands, they are ducted. A duct is a tube, meaning they have a tube that carries their secretions up to the target organ. For example, the pancreas has a pancreatic duct that carries the pancreatic juice up to the duodenum where it acts. The second type of gland, we have what we call endocrine glands. Endocrine glands, they are glands that produce hormones. For example, the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, testes, and many others. These endocrine glands, they are ductless. They don't have tubes that carry their glands to the target organs. Instead, they release their glands, so they release their hormones into the blood, and then blood carries the hormones up to the target organ. So we have this expression, this diagram, representing a gland. As you can see, this is a gland. Then here we have the duct. You see the arrow. So once the secretion is released, it is carried by the duct up to the target organ. But for endocrine glands, this is an illustration for endocrine gland. You can see that for it has no ducts. Once the hormone is released, it enters the bloodstream through the capillaries, and then it is carried. Blood carries the hormone up to the target organ. Then, when you look at hormones, they only affect a particular tissue, which we call the target tissue, or a particular organ, which we call the target organ. The reason, it is that particular organ that has what you call receptor sites, where the hormone can fit. So that hormone will only affect that particular organ. For example, insulin hormone produced in the liver, so the insulin hormone only affects cells in the liver. Reason, those are the only cells that have the receptor sites for insulin. All other cells in the body, they don't have them. So insulin won't have any effect on them. Then we come to the difference between nervous and endocrine control. When you look at these two, they are all doing the work of coordinating body activities. The nerves, or the nervous system, and the endocrine control, or the hormones. When you look here, when you look at the nervous system, it works by using nerve impulses, which are transmitted through nerve cells. This one works by using chemicals or hormones, which are transmitted or which are carried by blood. Then, difference number two, the nervous system uses nerve impulses, which travel fast. They move so fast and they produce instant effect, immediate effect. But the endocrine system or endocrine control uses hormones which travel slowly because they are carried by blood. So they take long to reach the target organ and produce a response. So the responses are always slow and they take long to act. So then the third difference, that in the nervous system, responses are short-lived. You imagine touching a hot object, just a few seconds, you remove it and then it ends there. But for endocrine, responses last longer. Once hormones are released, their effect lasts for a longer period of time. Then 4, impulses always act on individual cells. If it is a muscle, they will act on a specific muscle, contracts or relaxes, and that's it. But when you look at the effect of hormones, they affect a number of organs. They have a widespread effect on different organs. They affect many organs. So we have this diagram representing the location of the different endocrine glands. Like we have the pituitary gland, which is found in the brain or in the head, the thyroid. We have the adrenal glands, there are 2. We have the pancreas here, and then also we have the ovaries, there are 2 also, and then we have the testes in males. Then we come to the different examples of glands, the hormones they produce and what they do. One, we have the pituitary gland, which produces basically 3 main hormones. That is follicle stimulating hormone, abbreviated as FSH. This one stimulates egg development and secretion of estrogen in females. It also stimulates production of sperms in males. We have the luteinizing hormone, abbreviated as LH, which stimulates ovulation in females and production of testosterone in males, or the male hormone, testosterone. And also we have the antidiuretic hormone, ADH, which controls the water content of blood. The second, we have the thyroid gland, which produces a hormone called thyroxine. This controls the body's metabolic rate. The testes, which produce testosterone hormone, which controls development of secondary sexual characteristics in males. Adrenal glands, which produce adrenaline hormone, which prepares the body for physical activity. Sometimes they call it the fight or flight hormone. Then lastly, we have the pancreas, which produces 2 hormones. This pancreas is both endocrine and exocrine, because it can produce a secretion like pancreatic juice, and at the same time it is producing hormones, insulin and glucagon. Insulin lowers the blood glucose level by converting glucose to glycogen. Then glucagon hormone, this one raises the blood glucose level by converting glycogen back to glucose. The ovaries, they produce 2 hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen controls the development of secondary sexual characteristics in females, and then progesterone regulates the menstrual cycle. We come to what we call the adrenal hormone or adrenaline hormone. Sometimes we call it the flight hormone. When you look at this hormone, it creates many changes. It acts on a number of organs. As we have already said, that the effect of hormones, it affects a number of organs, not a particular organ. In this case of adrenaline, it affects many organs, trying to prepare the body or the animal to get ready to fight. And among the changes that it does or it causes to the body, they include increasing the breathing rate. They make the breathing become deeper so that you can take in more oxygen to allow the person to carry out more respiration to generate energy to fight. The heart beats faster so that it can pump more blood to the muscles to allow the muscles to carry out aerobic respiration to generate energy to allow the person to fight or run away, escape danger. Blood is diverted from the intestine to the muscles. You know that blood from the intestine is carrying the absorbed food. So it is carried now direct, the glucose is carried direct to the muscles to allow muscles carry out more aerobic respiration, generate energy so that the person can fight or run away. Then lastly, the pupil will dilate and increasing your visual sensitivity so that the animal can watch the movements of the enemy. The body hairs, in case of animals, the body hairs stand upright, making the animal appear large to scare the enemy. Mental awareness increases so that the animal can make quick reactions in response to the actions of the enemy. Also, lastly, it makes the stored glycogen in the liver to be broken down to glucose to continue supplying energy to the muscles. So we have this illustration. You can see we have this cut. You can see that a number of organs are being affected by this adrenaline. The pupil are dilating, breathing becomes faster, heart rate increases. You can see the hairs are standing upright and the cut appears bigger so that it can scare its enemy. So thank you for watching, and there is assignment I'm going to attach with this video. Please endeavor to do it and submit in the next 30 minutes. Thank you. Have a good day.